Welcome to SanAntonioWine.com's new weekly wine feature.
Web series?
Yes, web series. So
Yeah.
I'm Cecilia Beretta with Venusly Speaking Wine Shop and Blog.
I'm Jeff Dagner from Grape Wine Company, the San Antonio's oldest wine merchant.
So Venusly Speaking started about 4 years ago as a wine blog that I created while I did my master's in wine business studies in Dijon, France at the Burgundy School of Business. So when I completed my master's, I moved back here to San Antonio and was really interested in the urban wine culture of San Antonio, growing that a lot with all the influx of people that have moved here from the East, West Coast, from Mexico,
Right.
Bringing their love for wine to a city that's used to having beer and tequila and margaritas.
Yeah.
So just started to do a lot of events around town and came across the opportunity to purchase a wine shop here. And so now Venusly Speaking is also a wine shop located in the medical center. And we really focus on very obscure varietals from all over the world, small production wines. We really try to steer clear of the Chardonnay, Pinot Noir as much as we can and focus on crazy grapes. And and then on a fun note, Venusly. The adjective is Venus, which means anything relating to wine. So Venusly is the adverb, and came up with my own definition. So the definition is the manner in which one does things under the influence of wine. So yes.
It's not bad. It's into wine and creating your own words too. That's pretty.
Definitely.
That's not bad. So I'm Jeff Dagner. I'm with Grape Wine Company, and we're actually kind of a private wine merchant. We've been around for 28 years, and we kind of do more of a email system where we email our clientele with wines that we're drinking that week, and do like a kind of a quick overview and flavor profiles, and then send it out to our customers, and then they reply back if they want it, and then we deliver to their house. So it's kind of a neat little system. And before that, I actually had been with in the technology world, and then after about 14 years, decided to get out of that and took a year off and studied for a bunch of wine exams and certifications out there. So became a certified sommelier and a certified specialist of wine. And then to work for a wholesale company for a while, and actually Grape Wine was one of my customers that I sold to, and then talked to Oliver about all these great ideas that I had that I wanted to do, and so I came on board about 6 months ago at Grape Wine Company. So, like I said, we've got a retail shop there, we've got kind of an internet-based company with me, and so we have two different perspectives, not only as a business but also as people too, of how we taste wine and what we think about it. So I'm very excited.
Yeah.
So let's get started with the first wine.
Okay. So the theme that we decided to go with this for our first video, being that tomorrow is Texas Independence Day, the day that we signed in the Texas Declaration of Independence. So it's March 2nd, 1836. And so we decided to go with some Texas wines. We each brought one. So the one that I brought is the Albarino from Pedernales Cellars out in Stonewall, Texas, near Fredericksburg. Again, the grape is Albarino. It's a grape varietal from the northeastern part of Spain, typically, and then in Portugal as well. So we'll go ahead and pour our little glasses here.
Actually, when you said you were going to bring that, I was kind of surprised because not a lot of wineries, let alone in Texas or any other state, really work with that grape. So
yeah, so it's a new venture for them. This is the first time it's been released. It's a 2012, and so the only place you can find this right now is at the winery, and I was able to get my hands on a few bottles at the shop, but once they're gone, they're gone. You're going to have to get it at the winery. Just a bit about Pedernales. It was started in the early 90s, and it was a mother and father, and then now their children have grown up, and they've become part of the, expanding the winery beyond just growing grapes. And then their subsequent significant others, spouses, are now involved in it. So it's the Kulkin family, and then the spouses, as I said.
Right.
So they do different things. So in any case, family-run winery, really gorgeous setting, a great patio to go and sit and drink some wine. And they're dedicated to making more European-style wines. And I really enjoy their whole lot. So Albarino, and do a little sniffy sniff, as Gary Vaynerchuk says. One of the things I like to do is put my hand on the glass. It seals in the aromas, so if you're looking for a cool technique at home, wine snobbery, rule number 1. So most Albareños are going to be really light, very bitter, very much on the light citrus notes. This one's going for a little more body and a lot more aromatic than you might find.
Right.
So I'm getting a lot of citrus rind, little banana rind on there.
So I get stone fruit. So I get a lot of like white peach and apricot. Very floral though too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's definitely there's a lot there going on the nose.
Yeah, and for a white wine, it's pretty high in alcohol, 13.1, but you don't really get that too much on the nose. I mean, you can tell it's stronger and more expressive. But it's quite nice. So on the mouthfeel. So wine snob lesson number 2. It's called chewing your wine. You take a bit of the wine and you take in some air at the same time. And the reason you do this is you can actually smell from the back, like up through your mouth, back through your nose. It's called retronasal smelling. So chew like mouthwash, like with some Listerine action going on.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Very good.
Yeah, very nice.
I pick up a lot more on the like bitterness, like minerality on the mouthfeel, and it's a lot more creamy in terms of other Albareños. Usually Albareños are very mineral crisp. This one does have a bit more of that element to it.
A little more lushy, a little more mouthfeel to that one. It's very nice though.
Yeah, and usually, just on a note for everyone there at home, Albareños tend to be really nice if you keep them extra cold, which makes them a great summertime San Antonio wine. But because this one does have a lot more complexity to it, it's actually really nice at a cooler room temperature. So just a cool experiment while you're tasting at home. Let the wine warm up a little bit because that's where you get a lot more of your aromas and the true characteristics of the wine. So, and if it's too warm for you, you can always chill it.
Yeah, you can re-chill it again, put the cork back in, throw it back in the fridge. But definitely correct temperature on this one too.
And then it's also lingers a long time. A sign of a really well-made wine is that the aromas and the sensation last for good 30 seconds at least. Not that is easy to wait 30 seconds before you take your next sip, but and as far as food, I like to pair wines and foods a lot. So this is going to be really great with really acidic cheeses like goat cheese. So if you want to put goat cheese on a salad or use some goat cheese stuffed chicken. Also really great for spicy food. So if you want to take this to have any Asian cuisines or even Indian food.
Indian food, Thai, this would go well with a lot of different stuff. As well as just sitting on the back porch too, watching the sun go down. This is a very nice kind of outdoorsy, very kind of light style still to it. So that's fantastic.
A good one too for salads. Salads can be pretty hard to pair with because the vinaigrette-based dressings a lot of people use. Right. Where it would kill another wine because the acidity and freshness on this, it wouldn't really be changed too much. So, good salad wine. Yeah, it's nice. It's very good. Nice first pick. Good job. Yeah, it's almost like we know what we're doing here. Not so bad so far. Yeah, that's pretty good. So, on a side note, Cardinales, they offer lots of really cool things at their winery. They're always doing events. Tomorrow they're doing their Texas Independence Festival, so I'll be out there doing some wine education. And then I'm there every first Saturday of the month as well. Right. So a cool place to go and do. And you can support Texas wines. I say fix and chew, y'all, and howdy, and I heart Texas wine. If ever you're on Twitter and you want to use the hashtag TXWine, that's where you'll find out a lot about Texas wine tweeters. And I think the first Tuesday or second Tuesday of every month they do a Texas Twitter tasting. So you had one at your store recently, I think, too, right now. It's fantastic. Yeah, we used Bending Branch and then also Pernell. So it's very good. Very nice. And so this normally retails under 20? Yeah, 20, right about 20 and under. Give or take, you'll find that price point. Again, very new, so very hot. Get your hands on some before it gets too hot. Before it gets too hot and everyone's taking it all. So very good. Wine number 2. We're going to talk about Viviano from Llano Winery. The reason I picked this one is, Llano's been around, or been in Texas for years now. Early 70s, I think, they kind of started production. They started working with thing. And about 1977, I think, was the first vintage that they released. They kind of do a whole gamut of stuff. So they do kind of more value wines, all the way up to, they have 2 or 3 more of like a premium platinum style wine that they do. The Viviano, the reason I picked this one is, it's a red table wine, so
It's definitely a lot of Cabernet. It's just under 75%. For it to be called Cabernet, you have to be over 75% or 75% and over. And so this is a blend of Cab, Sangiovese, mostly, and then just a smattering of Malbec, Syrah, Petit Verdot, and Cab Franc. So,
Sounds good.
yeah, definitely not Bordeaux or Meritage kind of blend, but little Italian grape in there and a little Syrah. So let's give this one a shot.
Very good. Little wine snub lesson number 3. So some people always ask me about switching, putting water in their glass to rinse it out. If you're going from white to rosé or to red, as long as you're not going from like a darker wine back to a lighter wine, you really don't need to rinse your glass out. The only exception would be if you have a really aromatic sweet white wine, because it coats the glass with the sweetness and the aromas. So you can be the judge. If you feel like the wine you've had before is really aromatic and you feel like it's going to change what you're about to taste, you can rinse it out with some water. But like I said, as long as you're going from light to dark, you don't have to worry about it.
Should really go right
We're
to
relaxed.
it. Plus the whole dishes thing. No one wants
I
to
know.
do. Yeah, no one wants to watch that many glasses.
Yeah.
So let's give this one a shot.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, it's definitely a nice berry, baked berries, like baked berry pie.
Yeah.
I'm getting that.
Yeah, I think you're getting the spice from the barrel, the kind of cinnamon baking spices that would come normally from a barrel, as well as, like you said, like the red fruits. This is more cherry, strawberry.
Oh yeah, all the way. Definitely.
Style for me.
Kind of get like fruit roll up,
oh yeah.
But like a natural fruit roll up, not like fruit roll up, like a organic fruit roll up.
Organic, yeah, not the kind that you'd put in a kid's lunchbox or
Yeah,
school in the morning.
Yeah, like you make your own.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, definitely a lot of dried fruit, more pie, more of that kind of baking. So
another note too, if you feel like intimidated that you can't tell, what type of berry pie you're smelling, I tell people a lot just to stay basic. Do you smell fruit? If you smell fruit, or do you smell flowers? Do you smell something earthy? Stay basic. And then the next thing I tell people to do is think of a color. Like, do you think of a red color? Does it make you think of purple or brown? And with that, you can say, okay, I think of floral and I get like a purple. Okay, well, what flowers are purple?
Right.
So it can help you dissect that. And then another thing, unless you're trying to become a sommelier and you need to pick it out specifically,
right.
For the at-home taster, think of an experience. Like, does the wine remind you of grandma's kitchen in the summer? Does it remind you of, your 10th grade English teacher's perfume? And usually with that, it helps you remember the wine, but also you can sort of pick apart what it smelled like. Like,
right.
Grandma's kitchen this summer. Did Grandma like to bake cookies? Okay, what kind of cookies? Is it the chocolate? Is it the, cinnamon?
Right. Or pies, or, exactly, 100%.
So
Great
it's your
call.
nose. No one can tell you you're wrong. So
That's right. Yeah, that is the thing. We can throw out any flavor, and it's what I smell. So
Yeah.
I mean, there is no wrong answer to that.
definitely. And your nose is just like just like training for a sport. The more things you can smell, the better your nose is going to become.
Right.
And on a cool note, we can actually have the capability of picking out 10,000 different aromas with our nose, and each nostril is different than the other.
Right.
And then one's more dominant. So if you ever see like wine professionals that lean into the glass in one direction or the other, it's because they're using the 2 different nostrils.
They're using their dominant side, and yep. Exactly.
So something cool.
When I was studying for the exams, what I would do is I would go to Bed Bath & Beyond and sniff candles.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know what sandalwood smells like, so I'd have to go and I'd open a sandalwood candle.
Okay.
I'm sure there's lots of videos out there of me from the security cameras, like, here's that weird candle-smelling guy again. But
Coming in.
yeah, he's coming in to smell lemon meringue candles. But yeah, once you kind of get that smell and it goes in that kind of database in the head, then you can pull from that later when you're smelling wine. So.
Nice. So what kind of mouthfeel do you get on this one?
So.
It's very acidic in a good way.
Yeah.
Really gets the mouth watering, very fresh.
Yeah, very live, very bouncing around the tongue on that.
Yeah.
One of the things too, I realized, kind of low in alcohol too. It's only a little over 12%, so I think 12.7, which is kind of unique for a red wine. Particularly even from Texas, where the heat is,
Of course.
Usually kind of helps amp up a wine like that. So so very kind of lighter in style than I would have expected when I would see the bottle.
Yeah, and the way it smells like it would be heavier, but it's really light. Another thing is that some people might gasp if you say put a red wine in the fridge, but it's actually okay. There are some red wines, usually the heavier ones, that might not do so well in the fridge. They're going to lose their aromas. But lighter reds, ones that come from like grapes like Sangiovese or Montepulciano, even Gamay, these types of light reds are excellent for summer. You can put it in your fridge for 15-20 minutes and give it a slight chill.
Slight chill. Get it to cellar temp, 68 degrees-ish, something like that. Yeah, I think the Sangiovese on this definitely helps lighten it up a lot, because I mean, this is definitely not a... I would expect that, 73% cab in this. Couldn't tell, so this is fantastic.
Yeah. And I think this would be really great. I like to pair wines, my red wines, with barbecue sauce. We do lots of barbecue pairings at my shop, and so I think this would stand up great with the Texas style barbecue with a lot of pepper.
Right.
This isn't going to lose itself particularly, but it is that acidity you find in that.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking like barbecue chicken, something fun like that, something grilled outside with friends, and yeah, this is great.
Or even if you feel like a little more rustic, like mushroomy type pizza, I think it'd be really great with
fantastic with that. Yeah. So this one will retail for probably just under $30.
Okay.
Has some distribution out there. I mean, obviously, we can carry it, but I think this is nice. It's a nice little ride.
Yeah. And again, for any information that you want to find out more on this wine, you can visit the SanAntonioWine.com.
Check on this.
Yeah. So
that was it. Not too bad for our first episode. We got through it pretty okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And cheers to you.
So see you guys next Friday. Like I said, once a week we'll release another webisode where we're talking about a couple different wines, and hopefully again throw out some educational information that you can use with friends and family and at parties.
Yeah, I'm going to try to keep it fun, do some pretty unique wine tasting things, so stay tuned, and if you feel like popping open a bottle of wine while you watch this and drink along with us, that would be nice too.
Heavily recommend that, yeah.
And if you have any ideas for ideas of themes or wines you want to see, feel free to comment on any of the posts that you see for us. We're open for that, and we like that participation.
Yeah.
And then also, just a reminder, he's with Grape Wine.
Jeff Degner with Grape Wine Company.
And I'm Cecilia Barreto with Venusly Speaking. So I think we're going to go with the Venusly Speaking about grape wine.
I think that's a good title. Yeah, very nice.
Let us know. I think it's cool.
Yeah, we're always open to different things though, so let us know what you think. But I like it, so it's good.
Well, thank you very much, and we look forward. I look forward to doing this every Friday. I know that it's a tough job, but someone's got to do it.
Yes, right. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks.
Bye.